Hello, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. I'm recording this video after a long gap as we have almost completed the recordings of various mental health conditions. So I'm not actively posting any videos. But today I thought I should be giving some message from a psychologist or a family therapist perspective regarding the recent changes that are happening around us. So I'm looking at today's area of concern as how safe are our youngsters, be it school children or college going or even university going children. How safe are they in the present scenario? It feels very low after achieving so much of higher education in women and in various professions, holding very high positions. Still, we are struggling to protect our children from the safety concerns. Is a very regressive kind of a situation. So recently, I have heard a very senior monk of Sri Ramakrishna Mission talking about how, after meeting the basic survival needs um, of having your biological needs met and the safety needs, only then a human being can look at what is the essence of life. If we are after 6 million years of evolution history with our backup, if we are still looking at safety as a concern, I think it looks more like a regression than a progression. It might be a little uncomfortable expression for many of you to hear it, but with the kind of scenarios happening around us, I think it looks like that. Even at a higher education, at a postgraduate level, at a doctor or at a higher positions, if we are still threatened about the safety of our youngsters, then how about those professions where women are choosing to be, could be nursing or flight attendants or air hostess, or for that matter, dancers, or for that matter, any other profession where our young women are aspiring to fulfill their dreams. If the safety of the working environment or the safety of the environment is threatened, then I mean, how long parents can protect their youngsters. So this is the concern that I am looking at in today's topic. I have very important preventive kind of suggestions that I want the parents to look at. Maybe all parents may not agree to it, but then at least those who are open to understand the importance of safety of our youngsters. I'm not only referring to only the girl child, or even for that matter, the kind of value system even we are instilling in our boys, in our children, male children, is also a concern that that we need to look at the value system. If the women are considered to be weak or physically they cannot fight back, or if it is only for the sake of maintaining beauty, or only to perform certain roles that they are prepared for, I think it's a very um, sad situation that we need to actively look at least if the youngsters of today, I mean, shying away or being in constant fear is not going to be the solution, because they cannot stop dreaming or they cannot stop becoming what they want to become. But it's important that we as parents, as professionals, need to equip them or make them strong, that it is important that they learn to face the challenges, they learn to fight. Of course, how much we have hold on the external environment, there can be limitations, but it's also important to build the strength of our young children, youngsters, to face the situations, raise an alarm if someone is uh, uh, putting them down, or if someone is trying to have. I think for a woman or a young girl, it's not difficult to understand if someone is looking at them uh, with a lustful eyes, or they can easily make out. So it's important that we prepare our girls right from the childhood. I mean, what is a good touch or what is a bad touch? For that matter, being a psychologist and family therapist, I come across many of my families where even they find safety concerns, having even at their very basic home supposed to be a very protective environment. And with more and more working mothers, with more and more uh, jobs where they have to work overnights or late nights, it's important that if you have taken the responsibility of raising children as a woman or as a mother, it's important that we need to protect them. We need to make sure that they are in a safe environment, and then give them the strength to, you know, handle the situations and raise voice and inform the concerned authorities. Whatever the recent situation that has happened in Kolkata is very heartbreaking. Even at 30 plus years, if there is no safety at that higher education level, what about the young children who are left in care centers? What about the young children, I mean, who travel through public transport and then with no adult or with no caretakers? Uh, I mean, how much they are going through even before they know that they are being um, looked at with all that uncomfortable kind of glares, even before they are aware that they are exposed to such pathetic kind of environment, is something that we all need to look at as very important to kind of handle it, and help our children to become more stronger to face it and build that internal strength. So that's what I am looking at in today's video. I think in the present situation, even before the children select their careers, it appears that we need to, equip them in martial arts to face the situations outside. It sounds very, uncomfortable, but it appears that more than a career, building the physical strength seemed to be the need of the hour. So anyway, that is not the point that I wanted to make. The suggestions that I have, some of the suggestions more from the preventive perspective, is what I want to kind of sensitize the parents who are interested in this kind of situation. The first thing that I would always tell in most of my, those who are following my videos, I mention this very often, that when your child comes back, be it a boy or a girl, school girl or a college girl or a university for that matter, ask them know how is their day like, what happened in their day, what is it like. So that gives a kind of sense of a feeling in what kind of situation our kids are in 7 to 8 hours of the day that they are, building their careers around. So it's important that we need to know how their day is, and it's important to make them that habit of narrating how things were, and knowing what ups and downs and how they have gone through the situations, how they have faced the situations. So knowing their day is very important at every level, is something that very, very basic that I feel will help them, that there is someone to hear, there is someone to, listen to them back home, and then there is, something that they can look at in case if there is a need to work on or change about. So it's important that we hear our children, we listen to our children after uh, they are back from the school or they are back from our college. So that is the first and foremost area that or concern that I wanted to raise. And then and it's also important, especially uh, now most of the times is, invariably as adults, or for that matter any profession, using the screen or computers or laptops seem to be like a mandatory thing, like, we can't survive without them, without operating them, more so our children. So when they are operating these kind of screens, and what kind of content are they exposed? They are exposed to all kind of risky content on the screen. So it's important, young girls and boys, what kind of content are they interested in? What is that happening? I mean, it's all about not that we don't trust our children, but there is no harm in keeping an eye on. They are curious. Their curious minds might try to look at something, the changes that are happening in their body, or knowing about the peer group, or what is the kind of trends, what is happening around them. So invariably, sometimes it might pose some risk for them entering into obscene sites or some pop-ups that can be not very comfortable, but though their curiosity might make them continue to watch. And then it's important as parents that we keep a watch on it, and then help them to, look at it from a much more mature point of view. That is one thing that I want you to keep in mind. And then most importantly, the career that one chooses. So the you know, I mean, by sixth standard, seventh standard, you want your child to decide a career is something very, I mean, unreasonable. If you want to, force them to do what is your unfulfilled wish, it is not correct. What you have gone through is completely different from what they are going through. Let them have a choice. It doesn't matter if it is 16 years or 18 years, for that matter, 20 years. I mean, they have a long life to go through. They can take time to choose the careers. Of course, career is a lifelong choice that they have to make even before they have an idea or they think about it. If you are making a choice and putting them into these coaching centers where they have hardly have any time for any extracurricular activities, any sports or a fun time that they can have. Even their weekends are packed with so many activities that they hardly have any time to think. And most of the activities are gluing either to the screen or, whether it is projects or whether it is hardly there are any explorative kind of thing or something that they can do something creative. So it's more like there is already information there, and then you have to put it on a piece of paper and then submit. What kind of projects are they, and what kind of help are they going to do for their creative minds? So it's important that they have a choice to choose their careers, and it's all right if it is going to be a little longer, as long as they are happy with the choice that they are making. And especially if someone is choosing to be a doctor, it is a very big decision. So it is not something that you can do it in 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. It is a decision of 10 to 12 years just to complete your education. And if you are a woman who is choosing to be a doctor, and there is a constant support that is required, not only during the student period, because most of the kids who are doing the medicine, they know how much of the syllabus that they have to, cover, and then the covering of the practicals and all that, with the kind of college education with very poor quality, low education, how much of the self effort that they need to put into to finally reach a level. And it ends, it doesn't end there. And then they have to again struggle to establish their practice. And it's going to be a continuous long-term support systems that they need all through their lives. So if someone is making a choice of becoming a doctor, it is important that they are aware of the amount of sacrifice that they need to make and the amount of time that they need to spend. And the questions, with the kind of situations coming up outside, the questions are raising, is it really worth it to do that? I mean, if I am going to do medicine and my PG till 30 years, and then I'm only going to again take the full-fledged homemaker job along with raising kids, and then doing every other role that is expected as a wife, as a mother, as a daughter-in-law, and everything. I mean, how much of burden, how much of stress it can create on their bodies, on their hormonal systems. And all this need to be thought about when you are taking a decision of the long term. It is not just a glamorous job that you run around with a white coat, and then you think that you became a doctor, and it's not that glamorous. Those who are in the field, they already know that how much stress they have to go through, how much of hard work that it involves. So let the career choice be left to the children until they reach a mature age, instead of forcing them your own thoughts onto them. That is something that we need to keep in mind. And if, for God's sake, if someone is of all the effort, I've seen many of the couples where having a high education in the women, and then they are choosing to be homemakers, is such a difficult situation for the other family members to accept. So if you have done BTech or MTech, or for that matter MBBS or PG, if you are choosing to be a homemaker or wanting to take a break in your career, let them have the choice. There are many other roles that they need to, fulfill as a woman. As I mean, if you are trying to, give them a feel of freedom, definitely they will come back and they want to do, because it is they who has gone through so much of struggle to acquire those degrees to reach where they are in today. Definitely they want to do something about it. No woman, after spending 10 years or 12 years of education, want to sit and only do the household chores. Maybe a little break, maybe a few years of, kind of focusing on other areas. And moreover, if someone want to change their career, it doesn't matter at 20 or 22 years, you are paying a high fees, and then now at this point, we cannot change the career. I think more than the money, it is the life that is more important. Maybe you are losing some good amount of money. I understand it's a hard-earned money in present scenario. It's very difficult, earning money is not an easy process, but at the same time, it cannot be more than the life itself. So if someone is deciding that this is not what they want to do, and if you can give them, sit with them and talk to them the pros and cons, and the kind of choices that they have, and then how and what these kind of things, sit with your kids and then look at the possibilities, involve them into the decision making is very important, rather than forcing them, saying that I have already paid so much of fees and you are half the way and starting from scratch is I mean, very difficult. What happens? All your friends are completing this, they're already into career, they're already earning. I mean, what they are doing is their choice. It does not mean that the others have to be an example for what your child is going through. Is something that you as a parent has to understand and see, is there a way that you can support them for what it is. Maybe a little bit of support, maybe a little bit of encouragement will give them the strength to either continue or give them a choice to select something that they feel that they will be happy with. So it's important that as parents, we provide this kind of environment for our children. And safety is something that you can't always be around them, protect them. We need to equip our children how to handle the situations, being silent about whatever happening to them, and then not voicing is something that you need to uh, work on. And then when you start listening to them on a daily basis, what is happening in their daily routines, it's important that then and there, incidentally, when such situations happen, how you will have to inform the authority and how you will have to raise an alarm, and how it is important to face a situation than being fearful or trying to run away from the situation. How long anyone can run away? We need to ultimately have to make our choices, and then we need to face the situations, and we need to learn to fight through that. So if we are equipping our children for all these things, I'm not saying everything is going to become ideal, but at least as parents from our side, the emotional availability, the availability of when there is a real need, when there is a real stress, is something that I want the parents to think about it. And hopefully, I made my point that safety is something that they have to create, they have to see how much they are in a safe zone. And first, they have to identify when blindly not trust. Sometimes it can be their own peer group who might end up becoming helpless or not really. So, building that strength, that mental strength, that psychological strength is very, very important, is something that I want to kind of highlight in today's video. Hope I could make some point and then will be helpful to some of the parents. Thank you so much.